Hi, how is everyone today? I'm making this video because of several topics that are needing to be addressed. Yesterday, we'll start off with this one. Air India 171 ended up going down. And I saw this through the media. It was only a couple hours after it had crashed. And I ended up giving it to Wendy. And I'm like, oh my gosh, here we go again. Another plane down. And Wendy started looking at the film over and over and over, and she ended up catching something. She ended up showing me dragon drones. Yes. So in order to catch a dragon drone, you have to literally, if you're using your phone, it's actually at the rate of the phone picture frames, the dragon drones are. So you have to zoom it in and out in order to be filming in and out, in and out, in and out to catch these dragon drones. So I do know that at the airport in India, I think it was a CCTV, had, of course, all the planes going up and down. They're filming this stuff. And this is the footage I'm talking about. So at mark 3204, we start seeing our dragon drones. They're actually a little bit before in the footage. I think the whole plane went up and crashed in under a minute at like 32:04, 30. It was already in that second of crashing, that millisecond. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to post where we caught the dragon drones, the both of us. She caught one and I ended up catching two. And it's like, oh my God, the dragon drones are here again. Seems like every time some horrific thing is going on, these dragon drones are right there. Yes, they are. The plane didn't go down because of some malfunction or manufacturer defect. The planes went down because of the dragon drones. So I do what I do best. I started remote viewing. What's going on with these dragon drones? What have they done? And then we're going to talk about who's running these dragon drones. And don't think aliens. They want you to think it's the aliens coming. No, it's the deep state. Deep state has big time technology. That's who's running these dragon drones. This is nothing but old technology that's being reused. It's been around for a long time. So basically, the dragon drones, electromagnetic. Here's what they don't tell you. How does an airplane keep its lift? Okay, it lifts up. It creates a toroidal field around itself, just like a helicopter creates a toroidal field around itself, like a dragonfly, like a honeybee, like beetles do. They create a toroidal field. Well, what happens if you take electromagnetics and you zap the toroidal field and it's like breaking a bubble. Poof. All of a sudden, what's going to happen to that plane? It's just lost its toroidal field. Yes, it got up with the thrust, then the field was being developed, then you electromagnetic that field, and then the plane loses its field and it's going to crash. And that's exactly what it did. So yesterday I was looking through all of the footage of this terrible crash, and then of course it hit a neighborhood. And when it hit the neighborhood, let's talk about that real quick. We're going to insert this. It hit a couple of buildings. Basically, concrete buildings. Funny how this plane, which was boom right into the building, didn't do what the Twin Towers did now, did it? It's funny how they didn't collapse in on their own footprint, because isn't that the thing now? Planes can crash into a building and collapse it in its own footprint. That's a sarcastic laugh. So basically, we have to ask the question of, why were the dragon drones there? Where was the plane heading? Who was on the plane? That's a big one. Who was on the plane? And what's the message that was being sent clearly? A, who was on the plane? Well, somebody was on that plane they needed to take out. So then I started remote viewing it. There was somebody who was going to pull some kind of evidence against something. Let me guess. Yeah, and something to do with contracts. And they needed to get taken out. But meanwhile, I can send a clear message to the country itself, India, and to the government, the Indian government, because they're not fools. They know what's going on, but they got to play stupid. If you don't do what we want, we'll take down each and every plane as you don't get on board with our evil cabal agenda, because we're the deep state. That's another thing. All being driven by AI. Oh yeah, absolutely. So basically, that's what that was about, sending a clear message, killing somebody because they were on their way to London, because the flight was going to London. There was 246 people on the flight. They were all expendable. Nobody cares. I mean, humans have no value to these creatures. I don't even know what else to say. So, I won't say too much more about that because there's that. Now let's talk about the next thing. I'm on a roll today. Yes, I am. Our First Amendment being taken away. We have two incidents I'm going to talk about. Well, actually, there are more than two, but we'll start with these two because they're pretty big. First, the entire thing with Los Angeles. Going in, and whether you are a American citizen or you acquired your citizenship or what have you, being arrested, pulled out of places of business while you're working, being shot up with rubber bullets, and you're not even doing anything. There was a reporter who was actually looking at some of this stuff going down, and this group from the federal government, which we know, these are, soldiers, what have you, and they do as they're told. They want their bread and butter. We got to get that bread and butter at any and all expenses. I will tell you that some of them are foreigners, so who are they really? There you go. There's also that. It's gotten so bad that then an entire letter was sent out to people who had anything to do with becoming an American citizen. Even those that were born in America were being told to get out of the United States of America immediately. Get your ass out of the country. Yeah, it's really bad. Terrible. So there's that also. And then let's go to the next thing. There was a press conference meeting, and there was a senator. Let's see, his name was Senator Padilla. I think it was Padilla. He wanted to ask a question. He was tackled by the police, the military police. Well, I don't think they were military, they were government. Because you no longer have the right to even ask a question. Being a senator, and you are, boom, treated just like the people in the streets in California, at workplaces, on the street workplaces, and there's no regard for anyone here. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? We have lost our rhyme and reason. Who is running our country? I'm just going to go to, it was bad enough when they wanted to kill every one of us with the you-know-whats, and there was very little opposition. And since there was very little opposition with taking your life, the next thing is, we're going to take your speech. I might as well cut all of your tongues out of your mouth, because now that's the equivalent of what they're doing. They're letting you know, by letting this film out, that even the senator isn't safe from being brutally attacked with no voice, symbolically having your tongue cut out of your mouth. He was not only tackled, he was drug out, rolled over, and handcuffed because he's a hardened criminal, He was going to ask a question. Who do you think you are? This is America, the land of the imprisoned, the land of you have no voice, the land of I own you, and I'm going to take my foot and press your face into the dirt with my boot. This is what we've become. How much is it going to take for Americans to stand up and say, our government is completely corrupted and we can't do this anymore? Our Constitution says, the very first rule says, when your government has become corrupted and they're no longer in your best interest, it's time to change them out and take them down. What part of that do you not understand? Have we become such a cowardice nation that we have become such narcissistic people that all we care about, as long as we're okay today, we don't get involved? Because you know what? You're not getting involved today. This will be your tomorrow. This is a forewarning. You better heed my words. This is a forewarning. You might be safe today for 2 seconds. Let's see how your tomorrow unfolds. Because as this progresses, if you don't do something, and I'm talking to each and every one of you, you're going to be the senator with the boot in your back as you're being handcuffed. Because for God's sake, you dared to pose a question. So there's that. Not a happy video, but a very eye-opening, time to wake up to what's going on in your world video. And then the next one, Build Back Better. Big, beautiful bill. My, those bees are just rolling there, aren't they? Small b, small b, small b. 666. 666 is and has always represented humanity, carbon, anything carbon really. 6 neutrons, 6 protons, 6 electrons. But what's running us is the inversion. So anytime you see bees rolling together, especially 3 of them, it's the inversion of and takedown of. So when they say build back better, they mean break it down and tear it apart, leave nothing standing. And when they say big, beautiful bill, if you're not familiar with what that is, I'm going to let you know here in a minute. It means rape, pillage, and destroy all Americans, whether they're born here or not. It doesn't matter. You're human, aren't you? You're the enemy. If you didn't figure that out with all of this, maybe this will jar something in you. The big, beautiful bill. What an inversion. Taking away EBT from families that desperately need it. Not families who are not working, but families who simply can't make it on the incomes that they're having. And most of those families are what? Having children, whether they're single parents or married parents. Okay, so we're going to cut out the EBT. No, really, they want to eliminate the entire thing. They want to cut everything at the top, and then boom, within this year, they want it all down. Social services is going to be gotten rid of if they have anything to do with it, and this is how their big, beautiful bill is working. 60% of Americans are on some kind of assistance to the federal government. We pay taxes to the federal government. They take it whether you want it taken or not. So they've decided to save themselves, and they brag about it. Billions of dollars by stealing all of your money. We take everything and give nothing back. Isn't that the motto of a pirate? We take everything and give nothing back because we've printed all this money to collapse your country. Oh, yes, we did. We printed trillions of dollars and gave it away in all of the wrong arenas to themselves. And then, meanwhile, we are collapsing your country, which is not our country. We have the United States of America, and then we have the United States, LLC. Huge difference. 2 different things going on here. Everyone seems to be confused, thinking that we are the United States of America, when all the while we are the United States, LLC, because we've been taken over. And they're the corporation running us, the deep state, the cabal, the corporations. There it is. So now we have this big, beautiful bill who are ready to slash Medicaid, Medicare, get rid of it eventually. So they're hitting the weakest of our society, the elderly and the young. It's as simple as that. They're cutting off the body of the snake, basically. They're cutting off the head and they're cutting off the tail and they're leaving the middle. And you're next. You middle class, you're next. And you've been next. How expensive has it been going to the grocery stores lately with their artificial inflations? And let's bring in the tariffs now. The tariffs were only brought in for one purpose and one purpose only, and that was to kill the middle class. Now we're going to cut off the tail, cut off the head, and kill the middle of the snake. We're not going to leave any part of this left. You're the snake as far as they're concerned. You're a serpent in their reality. They're the true serpents, but you're their bane of existence. You still breathe after all of this. Do you get it? Do you get it? When is it time to stand up and say, we're not doing this anymore. We're taking down this corrupt government. When is it time? Is it today? Is it tomorrow? When is it? When is it? And I'm not going to make a very long video. And I was really sick this last week. And my sinuses are going crazy. Maybe I should have got myself a drink. But I wanted to talk about this. Okay, I got a drink. And I should be better to ramble on some more about what's going on in America. And I'm good at one thing. I'm good at nutshelling our issues. I don't have to dive into deep parts of it. Start researching. I'm sure it's not very hard. Just start looking. So, of course, it's the old divide and conquer. Get over it. The entire federal government is a corruption. There is no good guy in that government. There's no Democrat that's going to help you. There's no Republican that's going to help you. They're all bought and paid for and sold. Sold you a bill of goods. Because guess what? Stuff is still going on. These tariffs. Where shall I begin? If you enjoy spending $35 for 4 or 5 items in your grocery baskets, do nothing. Do absolutely nothing. If you enjoy never going to be able to own a new car again, do absolutely nothing. How's your housing market looking? Isn't it funny how BlackRock owns most of the homes for sale? Not only the homes that it gobbled up, but the homes that it's been building and what have you. And other elites. Isn't it funny how nobody's been buying homes? You can look into the market. It's completely crashed. And, yet the market hasn't blown up yet. What would you do if you needed to artificially keep prices high because you put a lot of your stolen earned income? Let me remind you, all of the money that was given out several years ago with the you-know-what reality, where this was being distributed and trillions of dollars were produced magically from the printing machines. Where you think that money went? To line these guys' pockets and women, these gals and these guys' pockets. Well, they took that money and they started doing all kinds of interesting things, buying up your homes and putting you on the street as one of them. What was that thing that Klaus Schwab said? Don't forget, he promised you will own nothing and we will revel in your slave ship. Welcome to the world of being a slave in your face, and we'll do it financially. Everything about you is nothing but a slave. We own you, we'll steal you, we'll kill you, we'll treat you like the trash that you are, humanity. And I don't just mean America, I mean worldwide, snow globe wide. And there it is. Yes, here's my sarcastic laugh, because I cannot believe that people haven't gone to the streets and started to protest. Oh, but yeah, the new regime, which is the old regime that's been running everything from the beginning, going back over since the federal government came into place. Don't think for 1 minute this regime just came because of some new party every 4 years. They're all in on it together. Yes, they are. Wake up, smell the coffee, and stop thinking that one of those parties, Superman, is going to come in and save you. It's your hopium that keeps you locked down, and every day you start losing more and more and more because you keep thinking, someone's got my back. No one's got your back. You know who's got your back? You got your back, and so you better have your back for everyone else around you because no one else has your back. If we don't start caring about ourselves and stop giving a damn and giving our power to these mofos running our reality, we're not going to have anything worth staying for. It's going to be really bad. We're in that crucial timeline split. This is your last opportunity to step up. There is a part of us who are ascending anyway, and this won't be our reality. But for the rest of you, take my heed. Stop being a coward. You're going to die anyway. And that's it, isn't it? so afraid of death, you're willing to give away everything till there is nothing left. Well, you better start thinking twice about that, because there'll be nothing left. Look at your reality. I hate to be having a harsh video, but it's time. They're using drone technology, which can only be caught in the shutter frames that are going in and out of your camera, because they're running on that same shutter frame of just filming, which there's that. So there it is. There it is. The technology's off the scale. Remember Maui? Geoengineering, weather warfare. This has been going on for a very long time. They have gotten away with it for a very long time. They're not going to stop. They are being run by AI. They are the deep state running AI. And I tell you what, if you don't snap out of it and start forming groups to combat this shit and start informing the common idiot out there, because they are, and I'm going to tell you right now, they are, because they're living in a state of fear. They're a coward. They're NPC cowards. Not to mention, some of them are just empty vessels. There's nothing home anyway. They're just programs running. But we're changing the program. We need to, because if we don't do it, no one's going to do it for us. And that monster is in our foreground. He's no longer hiding in the closet. He's out right here with us. And it's called our governments. Our governments are one government. They have been one government. They have been playing humanity as a fool forever, for population reduction and destruction of all Antiquitech, so that it didn't go with the narrative. As a unified people, we'll destroy that. Of course, all of that. And I've always been talking about that. So, that's all I'm going to say on this matter for right now. And I hate to end on a bad note, so this is what I am going to say. This is completely off topic, but I'm putting this out there now on YouTube. I've been having meetings and sessions with Patreon members and people who reached out to me privately for over a year. I am now announcing on my YouTube that this is a service I am now offering. You can find the link with the instructions and the information to book in the description of this video and in the About section of my channel. Yes, I kept botching it so many times, I had to write it down. And there's your lighter note to this video, because yes, even I struggle when it comes to left brain things. Right brain, no problem. Left brain, yeah, I got an issue. Yes, I'm nowhere near perfect either. I even have things that I can qualify that I need to improve on. So I guess on that note, everybody have a great day and start entering out into the world and be a part of it. All right, catch you on my next video. Bye.